What's up, guys? It's your boy Knockout 360 here with another video, man. So as you can tell, I'm outside. I'm with the cat way up here in Mooresville, North Carolina, where nobody is, which is good. Peace and quiet. But let's talk about the Ghoul package. I had the Ghoul package installed on my car probably about 6 months ago, coming from Palmer Dodge, right? You know, like I know, we had the Demon package, we had the Demon Plus, and now we got the Ghoul. The benefit of the Ghoul, or the biggest differentiating factor about the Ghoul, E85. E85 is a whole nother level, right? I'm going to show you briefly what's under the hood of the car, and then we'll actually get into driving it and talking about the Ghoul package and all that good stuff. All right, guys, so looking under the hood, real quick overview. Some of the things that stick out about the Ghoul package that separates it from the other packages. We got a Kong throttle body, you know what I mean? SDG snout. Get a good look at that. That's going to change pretty soon. I'm not going to tell you what's coming, but we will no longer have SDG in this car. I'll put it to you like that. Everything will pretty much be. Anyway, painted lid. I'm a basic dude when it comes to my car. I just wanted mine black. The painted lid comes standard with all kits, whether it's a Demon, Demon Plus, or the Ghoul. You can request to have it pretty much any color, as well as the fins or the wings, whatever you want to call this. These can also be powder coated as well. Improved race and catch can, completely out of the way. Unlike a lot of other catch cans that are in the way right here or in this area, the improved catch can is way over here in the corner by the windshield wiper fluid, right? Giving you plenty of room to work. We got the gates, green belt. Even though this is a Hellcat, not a red eye or a Demon, still got the gates green belt. It really was green at first, but as you can see, I've been working on it. 2.78 upper pulley, so smaller upper pulley, leg maker, intake. Currently, this car is on E85. Now, it comes with the HP Tuners pod, right? Plug this into your OBD, and from your phone, you can literally flip the tune. You can flip it from 93 to E85. E85 is when you're gonna get that 1,000 horsepower plus to the crank, to the wheels, whatever. Currently, mine is about 1,023 to the crank, probably 940, 950 to the wheels, depending on the, what's the word I'm looking for? Depending on the tuner, right? Or the, God, I can't think of it. The dyno, right? Depending on the dyno. Some dynos, this car may read higher. Some dynos, this car may read lower. I'm on E85. If you think I'm playing, let me show you. Now, for all you guys that own E85, you should be familiar with this sight. Come to the trunk, what do you see? 3 jugs, 5, 10, 15 gallons of E85. Now, the reason that I've got the jugs of E85 is because I will be honest with you, you get more power. It smells good. It's significantly cheaper. I paid $2.27 for E85 last night, but it burns quick. 30% quicker than 93. 30% quicker than 93, but you get the power, right? To my understanding, with E85, you're gonna get anywhere between 100 to 150 more horsepower being on E than 93. So I want that power, so I'm on E. So whenever I go up there, I always fill up my jugs as well as the cat, and we go from there. But let's look at the Ghoul package again. Just going down the list, the Gates green belt, injector dynamics, 1300s, 180-degree thermostat, which is important. That thermostat keeps this car cool. My car never goes over 270 degrees, even when I'm beating on it in the summer. It stays cool all the time. The PCM will be unlocked. Engine and transmission tune, we're gonna get into that shortly. Billet diff brace, that's going on the differential back there so that you're not cracking your diff. AED idler pulley, boom. FlexLink HP tuners, RTD pod. That's what you're gonna plug into your OBD to switch the tune from 93 to E85. Dual fuel tune, so you're gonna have 2 fuel lines, as well as a tune for it, and crank pin kit, right? Also, spark plugs, leg maker, cold air intake, improved race and catch can, and the Kong Performance 180-degree throttle body. So we've already talked about what's under the hood. Let's go ahead and get into it, man. All right, squad, boom. You should be able to hear your boy. I got 2 mics. I got one under the hood. I got one on your boy. So let's talk about this Ghoul package. Boom. Let me go ahead and enter in my code here. Get you a cold start from the inside. Yeah.
Recording. 2 channels started. Wi-Fi enabled.
I'm gonna have to do the old school thing, put the seatbelt behind me. I don't oftentimes do that, but boom. Let's go ahead and get into custom right off the bat. As you can see here, the great thing about the Ghoul package, once you go into your drive modes, that power is right there, 1022. Right now, that's 1022 to the crank. That's the Ghoul package. We're on E85. Speaking of E85, literally last night I had a full tank and driving it home. I'm already at 176 now. So, like I said, that E85 goes like water. But once you go into your settings, you will see that 1022. Now, to my understanding, the SRT settings only goes up to 1022. So if I were to put more power on this, it's still going to say 1022. So for you guys that's got 2000 plus, don't fret. You know, this is the highest it'll go. But let's go ahead and get in. All right, let's see here. Look both ways. Now it's time to go. Yeah. You already hear that one. Listen to that whine. The one thing you will notice immediately after doing the engine and the transmission tune is just how quickly and how rough that transmission shifts. And I say rough in a good way, like it jerks you forward. You know what I mean? Like it throws you forward when that thing shifts. So it's one of those things like, you know, something's been done to the transmission. All right, let's see what we got here. You hear that whine? You feel that shift? You can't feel it, but I can. Pause. Shifts are strong, man. You hear that little backfire? I don't know if you can hear it. The first thing that you will notice about the Ghoul package that separates it from anything else, you know what I mean, is the transmission tune. This thing bangs through gears to the point where it's throwing you in the back seat when you're going through gears. You know what I mean? That's the first thing that you realize off the bat that's different about your car. It's just how hard it shifts. And I mean that in a good way. Like it shifts hard, but you know, it's supposed to. It's supposed to bang you through those gears quickly, get you in and out of them like that. You know what I mean? And then, of course, that whine, that leg maker exhaust is ridiculous, man. I'm telling you. Between the exhaust, well, not leg maker, air intake, I'm sorry, not the exhaust. Between the leg maker air intake and the transmission tune, those are two of the first things that you realize that's different once you put the Ghoul package on there. That and the fact that your E85 is going to drop significantly. So, I mean, from the moment that we started the car to now, the E85 has dropped to 166. So we've technically killed, what, 4.5, 5 miles of E85. And we've only driven maybe 2. You know what I mean? But that's par for the course. That's a part of the E85 thing. You know, I told you guys that from the beginning. That's what you should expect. That E85 is going to drink like water. But it's going to give you the power that you want. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That power is right under your foot. Whenever you want it, it goes. Once you put your car in your track mode, right, you got to have it in track transmission. That's how the tune activates. Once you put it in track transmission, that's when the tune activates. That's when you got all the power. If you got it in street or eco or something like that, I don't think the tune actually activates. It doesn't activate until you put it into track. Not sport, has to be in track. Listen to this. Flying, man, I'm telling you. Your boy's playing with fire. I'm way up here in Iredell County. They don't play around, but we're going to have a little fun today. that exhaust, bro. Then I'm just gonna pop back in right here. The shifting, and just how easy it is to accelerate. It's so light. You know what I mean? Accelerating in this thing is easy. Once you put it in track mode, it becomes sensitive like crazy. It's like trying to break a feather. You know what I mean? Like, that's how light it is that you have to press in order to get that power. Well, I can't do nothing with you, bro. You on a bike, and you splitting lanes. Like, what you expect? You blow past me, there's nothing I can do with you. All you hear is whine and exhaust, man. I'm telling you, whine and exhaust. I'm telling you, that E85 drinks like water, man. I'm already down to 160. We burned 10 miles worth of E85 and a little under 3 miles worth of road. So, I mean, get prepared for that. Yeah. Listen to that whine. You forget that this thing is almost 5,000 pounds with the way that it moves. Listen to this. We got to get over. Oh, yeah. Ghoul package is no joke. And the best thing about the Ghoul package, like any other package, whether it's the Demon Plus, or the Ghoul, if you already have some of the stuff installed on your car, all of that stuff takes away from the final price of the kit. So if you already have a cold air intake, you can scratch cold air intake off of the list of the price. You can subtract that price from whatever the package is. But if you already have a cold air intake, or if you already have a oil catch can, or if you already have a diff brace or something like that, all of that stuff takes away from the full price of the actual package. So, I mean, you could really come out with more power than you've ever had for a relatively low amount, because you don't have to buy all of the parts in the package. I mean, you can literally, I'm not going to say pick and choose, because some of the things you have to have in the package, like they always recommend spark plugs, especially if you're over like 30,000 miles. A diff brace, that's highly recommended, stuff like that. Even tires, right? If you want welds, which is what I'm going with on my next kit, you know, you will need that as well. You can get that in the package, or if you already have that stuff, you're good. You don't need it. Come on, you would pull out in front of me, bro. But I'm telling you, the Ghoul package has completely changed my car, especially when you switch to E85. Now on 93, don't get me wrong, you'll notice it. So especially coming from, like, if you ever came from a stock Hellcat or Demon Plus kit package on your Hellcat, and you go to the 93 Ghoul package, you'll notice it for sure. You'll notice it with the power, the transmission tune, all that good stuff. But where you really get into the power is once you drop that E85 tune on there, and you put, you know, a full tank of E85, you know, then it's a brand new car, to be real with you. It's something that you got to respect. It gets kind of scary after that. All I hear is whine, man. Whine. But of course, with anything, you know, there's levels to it, right? So right now I'm on the Flex Tune E85 and 93. That's kind of holding me back, right? If I go full E85, I get the full benefit of E85. I get the full benefit of what comes along with, you know, corn oil, or, you know, corn gasoline, or whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? Right now I'm kind of in the middle, which is why this car is going in for surgery in the next week or so. And hopefully I'll have it back in the next month or so, because once I go full E85 with the cam Kong 2650 supercharger, I mean, it's a brand new car at that point. It'll be full E85, no flexing, no 93. Those days are old. But I mean, that's where you get the true power at. Listen to the shifts. You see what I'm saying? The shifting is the craziest part of it, man. Because you feel like almost something's wrong, but it's like that's how hard your transmission is shifting. When you go from a stock cat to a Demon Plus or a Ghoul package, that shifting will throw you off. It'll make you feel like something's wrong with it. But it's like, no, like it's supposed to shift like that. When you're beating on your car and you got it in track mode, it's supposed to shift like somebody's dragging your car forward. You know, and that's exactly how I feel. I feel like every time I shift, somebody's janking, jerking my car forward kind of thing. And it's supposed to feel like that. You know, your car is supposed to bang through those gears like nothing. You know what I mean? And it does. The last thing you want is a bunch of power in a transmission that can't handle that power. Iredell County right there, or is that Huntersville? That's Huntersville PD. But yeah, you want something that can handle all that power and get you through those gears. You know what I mean? Let's look at the Ghoul package again and see if there's anything I missed. I mean, idler pulley, we've talked about that. Performance diff brace. When this kind of power, like, you're going to need a diff brace. The last thing you want to do is crack your diff when you're doing those 0 to 60s. You're at the track. That's one of the first things that goes. Engine and transmission tune, obviously. PCM has to be unlocked. And the good thing about Palmer is they do all of that in-house, I believe. So all of that stuff is done in-house. Your PCM's not getting shipped to, China or California or some wild like that. It's all done at Palmer. 180-degree thermostat. Let's see how hot my car is right now. Been beating on it a little bit. Should be pretty hot, right? $185 degrees. Come on now. 185 degrees with a 180-degree thermostat. This thing is straight chilling. When I first bought this car, this thing lived at 200 plus. And if I started beating on it, it was 220, 230. But now I'm regularly at 185, 188 right there. It'll start cooling down. 190, if I'm beating on it. 192, 194. Let's just see if we can get it to cool down on camera. See what I'm saying? 197. 194. As soon as you start beating on it, that fan comes on. 188 starts cooling this motherfucker down. That should be one of the first mods that you do when you get this car, is get a 180-degree thermostat. And that's whether you have a scat or a cat. Just because these cars burn so hot. 188, I guarantee you I should be able to come down to 185 by the time I stop. 186. Can I get 185? Can I get 185? Maybe if I turn the AC off. 185, goddammit. There you go. I told you this thing keeps you cool. Keeps your engine cool. So, I mean, a lot of people want to get into the big power market, but they don't want to go full E85. So if you're like me, I'm in Charlotte. So in Charlotte, I think there may be one E85 gas station, but to my understanding, all my boys have told me it's in the hood. So it's one of those things like you better go during the day while it's bright outside, because if you go when the sun goes down, so does your Hellcat. It's going down as well. You going down and your Hellcat's getting taken. That's not necessarily true, but I mean, I think there's one gas station in Charlotte that has E85, but the other station, Sheetz, is the only other stations that offer E85. And I've got to travel to Troutman, North Carolina, or Salisbury, North Carolina, which is about a 35-minute drive either way. So it's one of those things like when I go to these places, I fill up the cat and I fill up the 3 jugs in the back, because it's one of those things like I already know I'm going to be going through E85 like water. Now, E85 is great. I love the smell of it, right? I don't know why, but I love that sweet corn smell of the E85. But it does drink like water, man. But I mean, you get the power that you ask for. You can kiss those days at any, random Shell or BP gas station goodbye, because you're going to be going to specialty gas stations from now on. But with the Ghoul package, like I said, you can flip in between 93 and E85. So if you know that you're taking your shit to the track, you can flip it to E85. And the thing about it is you just got to run your gasoline as low as you possibly can. run that thing down to the point where the light is coming on. You know what I mean? Run it down to the light. Then you can flip the tune and then fill it up with E85. And vice versa. If you're flipping from E85 to 93, run that E85 all the way down till the light comes on, then fill it up with 93. So if you're taking it to the track and you know you're going to be getting on it, E85. If you're going to be traveling, because this is a sedan, it's still a Dodge, if you're going to be traveling, taking it from state to state or something like that, you can flip it back to 93, and that way you can go to any gas station and have fun and fill up 93, no problems. You know what I mean? There's no restrictions on what kind of 93 you can get. The only thing about E85 is, and this is another thing that you'll get along with the Demon, with the Ghoul package, is you'll get an app that tells you exactly what the E85 content level is. So as long as it's above 70% E85 or 70% ethanol, you're good to beat on it. If it's below 70%, you might want to take it easy, especially if it's in the wintertime, take it easy. But if it's over 70%, then you can beat on it all day long, you're good to go. Every gas station is different. The lowest that I've ever seen in North Carolina from Sheetz is about 72%. So, I mean, you know, Sheetz really does push it pretty close. But for the most part, it's all 70 plus. If you live down in Georgia, I've gotten some that like 81%, which, I mean, that's potent right there. Do you hear that backfire? Come on now. I know you heard that. You know what I'm saying? It's right there at all times, man. That power is right there under your foot. And the great thing about it is Palmer will warranty out the work, man. If for whatever reason something goes wrong, I've never had any issues. If I've ever had any issues, I would document them on this channel. Therefore, I've never had any issues. I had more issues with Dodge's, what do they call, stage kits than I ever have with anything that Palmer's done. You know what I mean? But if you ever have any issues whatsoever with any of the Palmer packages, just call them and they'll fix it for you. Bring it back, they'll fix it for you. Right? If you're in another state, another city, they will send out transportation to pick your car up and bring it to Alpharetta, Georgia. Alpharetta, Georgia is a really nice area. You don't have to worry about your Hellcat, your Trackhawk, your Demon, your TRX being in the hood, because this is a really nice dealership in a really nice area. So I know a lot of guys have issues and questions about that. What type of area is their car going to be in? Trust me when I say, I've had my car all over Alpharetta. My man Kyler and Ryan have had nothing but fun with my car.
What's up, big dog?
In Alpharetta, it's never been broken into, never been obviously stolen. Any of that crazy stuff, they lock it up in the shop every single night. And the best part about all of this, guys, is Palmer is a legitimate Dodge dealership. It's not a Hoseby backyard, you know, mechanic body shop, auto shop type deal. It's a legitimate Dodge dealership. So if something for any reason was to go wrong, you've got Dodge technicians using Dodge parts at a Dodge dealership. I mean, what more can you ask? I don't know of any dealership that does stuff like that. I know of a whole lot of mechanic body auto shops and shit like that, where you can take your car and have them work on it, and there's no telling what type of parts they're putting on your car, let alone who's working on your car. What makes it, you know, what adds that extra level of peace of mind for me is it's a legitimate Dodge dealership where they're doing the work at. So if something snaps, breaks, pops, leaks, whatever the case may be, whatever part they replace it with is going to be a legitimate Dodge part. If it's enough peace of mind. Don't pull out. Yep, you are going to pull out. Of course you would. First generation Raptor. But yeah, the Ghoul package is where you want to be, honestly. And the reason that I say that is because for a lot of you guys that aren't keen of the idea on going E85, you can still keep your tune at 93, but you'll get the most aggressive package with 93, if that makes sense. So with the Ghoul package, you get the most aggressive 93 package, and then you can also flip the tune and get E85 benefits as well, you know? And if you're not an E85 guy, maybe you don't live in the E85 area, you still want your Hellcat to run on 93, flip the tune back. You know what I mean? If you live in a place with a bunch of E85, you can live on E85 forever. Like, there's not a certain amount of time where it's like, you know, you can only run E85 for 8 starts, 10 starts, 10,000 miles. No, you can run E85 for the lifetime of the car. if that's what you want, or you can run 93. And the benefit is you have that option. You have that option whether or not you want to run those 2 gasolines. Listen to the shifts. You feel me? The shifting, bruh. It's all about the shifting. That's one of the first things you'll realize, man. That engine and transmission tune is no joke, I'm telling you. You know, as always, guys, like, subscribe, comment. It's been your boy Knockout 360 here. All of the information will be in the description. If you have any questions, hit me in the comments or hit me on Instagram if you really want to get in depth. Kyler and Ryan are the 2 that run the Palmer package program when it comes to the Hellcats and all that good stuff. And like I said, you can either drive to them in Alpharetta, Georgia. If you're in the South, it may be easier for you to do that, or they will send mobile transportation to pick your car up. Whether you want enclosed transportation or just putting it on the trailer and bringing it down, whatever works for you. But they will pick up your car, bring it to the shop, work on it, and then ship it back to you. And you can negotiate the price. It all depends on where you live. Obviously, if you live in New Mexico or California, it's going to cost more than somebody that lives in North Carolina, Salisbury, North Carolina. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to take that trip, you can. If not, they'll come to you. So that's what makes the deal even more sweeter there. As always, guys, like, subscribe, comment, hit me with the questions, man. I know you guys got a lot of questions. I'll put all relevant links and all that stuff in the description, phone numbers. Hit them via email. The email is the best one. That's the best way to reach them. I'll put the email right here on the screen. That's the best way to reach them, is to hit them via email. They're on Instagram as well, but I think they prefer the email. So if you have any direct questions after this video, hit that email address. They'll get back to you, man. As always, like, subscribe, comment. It's me, your boy Knockout 360. I'm going to get out of here, man. Peace.